this should be fun. So, who is surprised by that heading? Who is surprised by that move? Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ask God Here. Some people are fake. Some of us are not. You have been blessed with the opportunity to meet a quote unquote real one. Well, you either been blessed or been cursed. Depends on which side of divine law you're currently on. If you're on the good side of God's law, then you have been blessed. If you're on the bad side of God's law, then I am your curse. Let God be praised. Mwah. Woo. It's not like this is something new. They have been trying to use the government against me for a very, very long time. Okay? They've been using MI5 for the most part. Because I'm a domestic matter. Am I a domestic terrorist, though? Or am I a domestic fixer? Notice in the caption of this video, this live, the report is these government officials who are actually corrupt ones have to be forced to come against me. And that is great news. That means we effective. I see why the shadow government are mad. We even got your loyal, corrupt soldiers liking us. So much so that they don't even want to fuck with me. They're like, hey, I like her. I agree with, if not all, at least some of what she's doing. I'm actually in support of this. To be loved, It's so wonderful to be loved. Tell Babylon we is sorry. Oh no, I'll tell them myself because I know they're watching. I'm sorry. Okay? This is nothing personal. It's just business. When you do crimes, the police, they come for you. The thing is, you thought that because the police of the land belong to you, generally, because you know we've got some good ones who ain't on your fuckery, but you have major say so when it comes to the police of the land, the judicial system. I mean, the whole system. So you thought that you would forever be safe from paying for your crimes. You thought that you would never be caught. You thought that you would actually succeed with the nonsense you are trying to do to everybody, and that includes those who work for your secret organized crime agency. SOCA. That's what you thought. And then here come people like me actually managing to give you cause to worry, to give you cause to doubt. Doubt that your plans actually are going to come true. You know, finally, you are slipping out of your own delusion. You should be happy about that, evil ones. You're welcome. So now you know you're not untouchable. I'm happy for you. Now you know that your plan can get fucked up. For the first time, you're having doubts. Congratulations. World domination, people. For the first time, you doubt your power. Reality check, reality check, reality check, reality check. Who's gonna run this town? It was never you. It has always been the Most High God. And that is the objective of my presence here. We have completed our mission. This is just the beginning. We have a crack in your egg. You're no longer fortified. Even the very people within your organization don't like you anymore and what you stand for. Human beings are inherently good creatures. We were made out of love. To go against the love that permeates our being is to fight against self. That is why you are ill. You fight against the love that is inherently in you. Why do you think the body cares for itself the way it does? It's love. But you keep taking in all this negativity and you keep conjuring all this evil shit. It's a vibration and the body don't like that. The body don't like that. The mind don't like that. The heart don't like that. But you're too blind to see that. You're sick because you're so evil for so long. There's no rest for the wicked. The body needs rest to have balance, serenity. You need times of serenity. And you know what you're not getting now that people like me are on the scene? You're not getting no time to rest. Peace goes further and further and further and further away from your being. As it should. For many years, we the people have not been able to have peace. Now you get to experience what that is like. You're welcome. Experience is the best teacher. So now you have to force your agents to come after me. What does that tell you? Why don't you come after me yourself? We want you to come after me yourself. Stop sending people to do your dirty work. Come. You're a coward. You don't not come after me because you're the boss. You don't come after me because you know the kind of fire that awaits you should you embark upon such a mission. Come. Mr. and Mrs. World Domination. Please come. Stop sending people. You're a bad man or a bad gal. Come yourself. You can fool some of the people sometime, but you can't fool all the people all the time. If I was truly a criminal, they wouldn't have no problem coming for me. You have to force them because they know I'm innocent. You have to force them because they know I'm a good person. And it goes against their nature. They're like, what has she done? What is her crime? What is Shanel Greene's crime? This is what they're asking each other and asking themselves. This is the battle that they're fighting within themselves. Why don't you, Mr. and Mrs. World Domination, since you are so clear in your mind as to why you want to take me out or take me down, come do it yourself, man. Please. Let's get you out the way once and for all so the rest of us can go on with rebuilding life, rebuilding the human family. Try to get it right. Try to create a better tomorrow for our children and our grandchildren whom we love. Your secret agents, they want a better tomorrow for their children and their grandchildren. That's why they were working with you. It was extra money so they can provide that lifestyle for their children and their grandchildren and those around them that they love. That's why they were doing it. Their mission is still the same. But to send them to hurt someone like me, what do you think is going to happen to them? You don't care though, do you? Mr. and Mrs. World Domination. You don't care because it's not you. Or so you think. Because I tell you what, according to divine law, the thread leads back to you. So even though they will pay a price for unjustly hurting Shanel Greene, the bulk of the blame is on you, dummy. You think that nature don't see who's sending them? You think that nature didn't see how hard you have to work to force them? You insist on hurting Shanel Greene. So nature will insist on charging you for your crimes. You think there's an escape for you? You think because there's another face that's coming towards me that my protectors, Mother Nature, God itself, don't know that it's you? Get real. You think this is your stupid court of law in this physical world? You think this court of law that you're dealing with is your corrupt court of law that you have in this physical world? We way more advanced. You can't bribe none of our judges. There's nothing that you have that they want. You can't lie to any of our judges. You can't hide from our police. There's no escape from nature's judicial system. Whatever is going wrong in your life, you think that it's because of some kind of physical influence that's around you, like the food you're eating, or maybe something in the air, or something in the water. Nah, it's because those are your punishment. Your body will become your prison. Your mind will become your prison, fool. You need to understand how the laws of nature work. You're looking to go behind some kind of physical bars in the real world. We don't need to do that. Have you ever been sick before? That is imprisonment. That's how we do it from the spirit realm. That's how nature does it. That's your imprisonment. That's your punishment for your crime. Have you ever wanted something before and you just can't get it no matter what you do, like childbirth? Have you ever wanted a child so bad and that just not happening for you? That's a punishment, fool. You think nature don't know who you are? What you've done and what you deserve and don't deserve? Most of you don't deserve to have children. The world don't need no more of you people in it. You're doing a great job all by yourself, destroying everything and everybody. We don't need no more of your kind of influence. And you will only raise your children to be like you. Or try to. Because not even that is guaranteed. Because you can have children, but you don't know who you're going to give birth to. God can put one like me in your bloodline. How you like them apples? That is punishment for your crimes. This is how nature's judicial system work. Mr. and Mrs. World Domination. And those who support Mr. and Mrs. World Domination. This is how the judicial system of life works. That diabetes, that high blood pressure, that pneumonia, that leukemia, that sexually transmitted disease, all these things, these are punishment for your crimes. Train your mind to start to understand nature's judicial system. You are not untouchable. You were never untouchable. Look back at your life. You have always been getting punished for your crimes against humanity, against the innocent. And you will always continue to be punished for your crimes against humanity and against the innocent. We just did a whole bunch of karma readings. See the type of punishment that nature offers. Lost job opportunities, lost wages, lost comrades. Come to the Lord moments. The unfortunate opportunity to meet upon somebody who is just like you. This is how karma works. These are the type of sentences that karma dishes out. Impotency, infertility. These are karma. These are punishment for your crimes. Wayward children who just won't do what you like them to do. These are punishment for your crimes. Untrustworthy friends. Unfaithful husbands and wives. These are all karma. God knows exactly how to hurt you, because we all have those spots. God knows exactly how to punish you. Something that God do to you, somebody else might look at it like, that's nothing, but to you, it's everything. That's how karma works. And karma know you better than everybody else. When karma done with you, you felt it. Karma is very effective. Life's real Supreme Court, the Supreme Court of Supreme Courts, it doesn't miss. It doesn't do wrongful sentences. It doesn't take bribes. And now that you're coming to understand it better, when it reforms you, you are properly reformed. You can't stop your ears from hearing. You heard me. And you can't stop your mind from understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth. Because you're going to see these things manifest in your life. What kind of sicknesses are you suffering from right now? Crime and punishment. What kind of psychological ailments are you suffering right now? Crime and punishment. What blockages are you experiencing in your life right now? Crime and your punishment. You're not untouchable. You just weren't equipped with the understanding of how you're being touched for your crimes. Mwah. It is my pleasure to serve the public. Hallelujah. 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 God, you are worthy. Yes, you're worthy. Yes, you are worthy. Hallelujah. Recognize nature's way. That is the reason for my presence here when dealing with these kind of matters. Understanding why it's right and imperative that you respect divine law. You are not above divine law. You are above the laws of the land. You have no clearance to be exempt from the laws of the divine. This physical world, that's what they call the matrix. But you see, God's world, that's the divine matrix. It's an order. And we need to spend more time understanding it. It will stop us from walking into walls, bumping our heads, and doing it over and over and over and over and over again. That's why they talk about lessons. In life, we're meant to learn lessons. Once you learn the lesson, then you can move on. But if you haven't learned a lesson, this whatever will repeat itself. This scenario in your life, it will come back time and time and time and time and time again. And you wonder how you keep getting yourself into these things is because you're not learning the lesson. None of us are above divine protocol. Not even you, Mr. and Mrs. World Domination, wanna be gods. You think you're so powerful, you'll have a failing kidney. Hence, the black market, the organ black market. You have the links to get a good kidney, so you destroy a healthy person so you can take their kidney. You get the kidney. What happened to the kidney? What happened to the liver? What happened to the heart when you do these things? How are they functioning in your body? Has everything been okay with that? Stealing other people's eyes. Just taking parts from other people's bodies so you can repair your own. How do you get those bodies? Or the people you sent out to get those body parts, how did they get those bodies? And you think there's no price to pay for that? Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I see. Mhm. And you can't unsee it. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now you see. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, Most High God, please block anybody trying to interfere with this reading. Do step in and deliver your messages to your children. So before I do that, as usual, I haven't had breakfast. So give me a moment. I'll be right back. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. Oh, amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like he and she. They once were lost, but now they're found. They were blind, but now they can't say they don't see. You know, at one point of my journey, I gave up dancing because I thought it was an abomination. And then I got sick. And you know what saved me? Whining and twerking and dancing. I was like, thank you for the memo, because I enjoy doing it anyway. If it's gonna save my life, then it can't be a bad thing. It can never be a bad thing. Moving your body like this, that helps with digestive problems. Helps you to get rid of gas, constipation, and stuff like that. Twerking is good for them type of ailments. Okay? It strengthens your spine, your back muscles. It strengthens your back, it strengthens your core, your hips. Okay? So when we subscribe to godly living, we need to understand what is actually an abomination and what actually is not. And the science will tell you everything that you need to know. Because how can winding up myself be a sin if it actually helped to keep me out of the hospital and the burial ground? That's my logic. I decided it can't be a sin. And plus, what's a sex life if it's no good? And at what point do we practice? Because I mean, if you want to have great motion in your ocean, then there has to be a time when you practice. You can't only be winding up when you're actually in the act. You know what I'm saying? It must be a time where you're just doing it just to keep the vibe strong and, you know, oiled and flexible. And I need to go this way. Yeah. Yeah. You know, you need to free up the body. So that's just a little that's just a little bit extra info. Yeah, man, but on this journey to God, it's not an easy one. It's not an easy one at all. And there's so many varying opinions and practices and sects and I said sect, sects, sects, like denominations and rules and regulations and people opinions, and there's so much things to kind of stop us from getting to God and serving God comfortably. That's why we gotta teach each other. That's my experience, so I'm sure it will help somebody. I gave up sexy clothes, I gave up high heel shoes, I gave up dancing. I was never a drinker. Yeah. I gave up a lot of myself, all in the name of serving God. But I was doing it through other people's opinions and views of God, because now look at me. Now that I've decided to get to know God for myself, I live by my own understanding of who God is calling me to be. Excuse me. Yeah. And that's how everybody's relationship with God should be. That's why we shouldn't be judging each other. Because when we judge each other, we miss a lot. We miss our blessings, you know. Because you don't know what mysteries God has revealed to that person or that person or that person or that person, you know. And plus, God is love. So if we go around judging people and cutting them out because they believe something different to us, or they exercise different practices to us, then that's not really an expression of God's love either. So what kind of God are you serving? Like, what kind of God do you know? You know, that teaches you to hate. What kind of God do you know that teaches you to look down on somebody who doesn't have as much as you do? That's not God. That's not of God. That's of something else. That's of the negative side of God. They call that the devil, but it's just the negative side of God. We got the positive side of God, which is love, and the negative side of God, which is hate. I don't believe in the devil unless God is the devil, because God created both good and evil. So who can be more evilous than the one who created evil? Hence, when God go to express its wrath, God will wipe out entire nations. God don't play. God can be very merciful, but God can equally be very merciless. And you know, when God gets into that merciless energy, it's because you've had enough warnings, you've had enough signs, you've had enough prophets come and tell you. You know, enough messengers have shown you things. Your mind has understood, but you have chosen not to care. God's like, okay, no problem. Who can't hear will feel. Like Burger King, have it your way. Did you know the gift of life isn't one where God tells you what to do? The gift of life is one where you get to tell yourself what you want to do with it. But just know that if you life is a thing of alchemy, cause and effect. If you put this with that, you're going to get that. If you do this, that's going to happen. The rules have already been set. The parameters have already been set. God has done all the work it needs to do. Now there's nothing to do but to watch everything play out. And it's up to us to understand when we're being tested, when we're being taught a lesson. None of us are exempt from God's law. There's God, and then there's everybody else. I'm not better than anybody, and nobody's better than me. You're not better than anybody, and nobody's better than you. And that's the reality of life. People are only more powerful than us when we give them power over us by our inaction or our incorrect or insufficient action. You know, we have to give people power over us in order for them to have power over us. And that's why they have no power over a person like me, because I'm not giving them no power over me. They're not worthy. You're teaching me nonsense. You're teaching me things that's going to make my life harder and worse. What kind of person would I be to myself if I accept that? That is insanity. And then want it to stop without actually putting in effort to make you stop. That is insanity. Me standing up for my right is a civilized thing to do. This is civilization. Civil. Let's look up the word civil. I'll tell you what civil means. Civil servant. Civil meaning relating to ordinary citizens and their concerns as distinct from military or ecclesiastical matters. What's ecclesiastical matters? Interesting. I need to look more into that. But there's more. I want the actual civil as a verb. Let's see. It says relating to law, courteous and polite. That's the meaning I'm looking for. Okay, courteous and polite. You see, with this AI, this technological age, they can add stuff and take away stuff. Because to be civil towards one another, that was actually always. Matter of fact, let me get the dictionary. That's why it's good to have a hard copy and protect it so they can't come in your house and change it. Civil. Relating to the citizens of a state as opposed to the armed forces or the church. Oh, ecclesiastical is the church. And then it's a polite, courteous. And that's the meaning that we're looking for. Let me show you people. You can zoom in if you can. Yeah. It's over here somewhere. That's what the dictionary say. Polite and courteous. So a civil servant is supposed to be polite and courteous. A civilized person is polite and courteous. So you, Mr. and Mrs. World Domination, with your evil ways, your disagreeable policies and commands, that's not polite or courteous. You are uncivilized. And you're trying to make everybody else uncivilized like you. And I personally say, fuck off with that. Go and suck your mother and your father with that. You uncivilized beings. Polite and courteous. That is what I am. But I ain't no punk. I take pride in being polite and courteous. I equally take pride in standing up against bullies, the uncivilized. But I fight in my own way. I describe myself as a gentle, fierce breeze. Do the math. Beauty and the Beast breeze. A gentle, fierce breeze. I come in easy, but I come in hard. You check it. I see what God want us to know about them sending these government officials to come harass my life, to try to silence me or hurt me or frighten me or whatever the fuck they intend to use them to do. I'm guessing it's to silence me because they have a problem with me being on social media. So it's my talking. They don't like my talking because my talking is too effective. Eh? I didn't tell you to build a system on lies. I'm only destroying you with the truth. And the truth shall set us all free. You were wrong to build your life on lies. You insult our intelligence into thinking it will forever be able to hold you up. Don't you know the truth is like a berry, it always rises to the top. And these are the days of the apocalypse, aka the unveiling, revelation. Have you not read the book? Did you not get the memo? Is this how I'm gonna look when you finally get rid of all my teeth? I'm gonna smile like this. I'm gonna have to talk like this. I'm gonna cover my microphone call. Fuck off. Never! Fucking crazy. I'm gonna smile like this. If that's how I so feel. Until I get to fix my gnashers, because I don't want to go around with rotten teeth or, no teeth. I wasn't created that way. I deserve to have a beautiful smile. You know what I'm saying? But if you are blessed with the power to stop me from getting proper dental treatment, then I'm just gonna have to walk in the shoes of somebody with rotten teeth, like I have been for the longest while. And guess what? That which the enemy meant for evil, God always turn it around for good for those who serve the Lord. So even though I have these problems and you think that it's going to send my life in some negative direction, God begs to differ. Okay? God strongly disagree. And like I said, like we've established, Mr. and Mrs. World Domination, you never ran this town. You have as much power as God is willing to allow you. Who's gonna run this town tonight? We are. Yeah, I tell you, we are. Hey, represent for your God like me. This is not a thinking job. When you're being used as a tool, just allow, And this is why nobody can do this job unless God has granted you access. So no matter how great of a reader somebody says they are, if God denies them access, there's no way they're gonna get an accurate reading, because this isn't like the CIA files that could be hacked into. This is the Akashic files. Okay? You need to be granted access to these files by the divine, and God has to first see you as worthy to have such access to such files. So y'all can't get no reading on nobody that God don't want you to get information on at any time. Do you understand? This what I'm doing is not something that Babylon can come and talk about. You need a certificate to do this. Who is going to verify me? You? Not even the good side of the government can give people a ultimatum to have certificate to do this, to operate. You have no jurisdiction over such matters. Let me just clear that up right away. You can't outlaw being a messenger for the divine. You could try. But then there are people like me. And these are not times of old. You're not scheduled to win in this season. You're not ordained to win in this season. Okay? And I am not a psychic. I am not psychic. I am an elect of God. I am not a psychic. I am not psychic, nor do I wish to be psychic. I would hate to be around people and I can hear their nasty fucking thoughts, because humans make me sick. Okay? If only you could hear some of the things that the people around you be saying about you or thinking about you in their heads. It will turn your stomach. I would hate to be clear, audient, like all the time. I'd rather, when God want me to tap into certain things, I could tap in then. But for me to just have the ability to tap into people, or in a way that I can't tap out, shit, it's a miserable life. Psychic. How unfortunate. That's just me personally, okay? If I was to ever ask for a superpower, being psychic would not be it. 'Cause I'm too empathic to be psychic. Okay? Those two, they don't go well together. So it's like I can't even log out to the nonsense. That's like torture to a person like me. I am way too empathic to be psychic. Movies make me cry. Like that. They just pull on my tears and they just start falling out. I feel for people, you know. And because I have this thing where I train myself to be able to see other people's point of view, I have this ability to put myself in someone else's shoes, even my enemy's shoes. I can understand their plight, and it's like I don't feel like I'm in it, but I definitely empathize with them. Like, I feel your pain, you know? So, that and being psychic, they don't go good together. And then, on top of that, I'm a fighter. I'm a warrior. Not a physical fighter, but I'm the type to stand up for others. I've had to train myself to know when to mind my own business. That's when I thought that the world was, well, people of the world were actually good people. I would happily stand up for those who I thought were being abused. Then I realized, hey, I'm surrounded by a whole bunch of fake ass lying motherfuckers who I shouldn't even waste my time trying to defend, because they probably did some shit that I don't even know about. Surrounded by a whole bunch of manipulations. Manipulating, lying, stealing, cheating is the norm. I didn't know that. I was taught to be a good person, and I liked it. And even when I realized that the world was corrupt like that, I still decided to be a good person, because to be opposite, I would be destroying myself from the inside. So I don't do anger, I don't do jealousy, I don't do wars unless I have to. You know, I don't do hatred. I don't I do peace. And that's why I flourish. I respect my nature. My nature is that of serenity. I love peace. If I want trouble in my life, or if I want a challenge, there's so many ways to challenge myself or have adventures without having to create problems. I don't like drama. I don't like fighting. I don't like wars. So some people, they don't like peace. So they'll just create an argument with you. That's horrible. And then these men, they think that it's so sexy when them and their woman get into an argument, and then this quote unquote makeup sex. Fuck you. I don't do makeup sex, bitch. Don't fuck with me, period. I do leave you sexless for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 10 years. That's what I do. I don't do makeup sex. I do go without sex. And I don't give a fuck what you do. Because you ain't getting this one. Makeup sex. Nonsense. Fucking create problem where there is none. Just so that they can have passionate sex. Motherfucker, there's something wrong with you. If that's what you have to do for you to enjoy having sex with your partner, there's something wrong with you. Because even if you like rough sex, or you feel like some people like that choking and all that stuff, you can do that without fucking pissing off your partner first. You don't have to piss them off first. When you're at work, you have a personality when you're at work. When you're at home dealing with your children, you have a personality when you're at home dealing with your children. When you're with your woman and you're having your intimate session, there's a personality that you're free to take on when you're dealing with your woman. She know you to be like that. And if she in agreement with that, then do you. But why you have to piss me off first for you to enjoy it? Man, fuck off somewhere. Nonsense. Come pissing me off for no reason, you will regret it. Like how I'm so very practiced in celibacy, I know I'll be fine. So you have to know your woman. We're not all the same. Just because that shit worked with your last chick don't mean you should come try it on me. Shit, ask me first before you try that shit. I'll tell you straight. Because if you try it, it's harder to get out of that one. Alright, so the subject matter. They're trying to force government officials, corrupt government officials, to come after me. To some negative end. Who the fuck cares? The subject matter. Okay, we got the land card. So, land. What does that mean? Land. I'm getting arrival with that. So the subject matter is their arrival. Okay. Check them before we read. Okay. So, the message. The subject matter was their arrival, their landing. Okay. The message is confusion, converse, private party in the reverse. So this is going to be public. And then we got school of life, nature's lessons in the reverse. Followed by jail in the reverse. So let's make sense. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Let's see the story at the bottom of the deck. Let's make sense of it all. So the underlying issue is the meeting place of the educator, which would be me. Beach is peaceful. And then we got they are not really like that. We got elders. Illegal activity. Well, we already saw that from the title. And we got neutral entity. Being utilized. Utilities. Interesting. Divine authority. Did y'all hear that? The laws of the universe. Fear. Musician female, that's talking about the feminine energy, receiving energy. So fear, receiving. Then we got the temple, or the Chinese or Buddhist kind of. So maybe some Chinese or something got something to do with this. Let's read on. Receive Chinese. Oh, this Mrs. World Domination, aka the shadow government. Let's make sense of it going. Moving forward. Actor. Politics. Ministry of Finance. Always about the money. Crying. About their human resources. Present yourself well. Stagnation of the news media. That would be my broadcasts. They want to stagnate my broadcasts. And we got the Temple of the Jews. Hey! Hello, fake Jews! Jews that say they are Jews but are not. They're actually of the synagogue of Satan. What's up? The Jews are looking for new recruits. Because these agents that know my story, they're no longer interested, you know. They need some new people who don't know nothing about what's going on, that they can just, they don't have no attachment to this situation. They don't have no clue of karma and all these things, you know what I'm saying? They haven't been baptized with the word. So they need some people who are unbaptized with the word, so that they can just go in and get the mission done, and they won't care about me because they know nothing about me. You know what I'm saying? Let's read on. So the Jews are looking for some new recruits. We got permanent secretary. Mosque. Obia woman. Dark magic. And the laws of the land. so they can just lie, you know. They're going to tell them some lies. So they're looking for some new recruits. I'm confused by this permanent secretary and the mosque. And then we got Obia Woman Dark Magic. Okay, so they're going to use what looks like truth. They're going to use what look like truth and make it look like I am guilty of breaking some type of laws of the land. Because they want to laugh at me. So they want me to be scared. They want to laugh at the talented one, you know? Laughing at the talented one. We got farm and orphanage. They don't want me to feel like I belong, you know? I don't belong on social media. We got war. We got musician male, so that's the go-getter energy. War, going after their army. So I'm going after their army, and we got environment and pastor. So the environment is getting cleaned up. Like I said, people are being baptized by the word. You know, people are being baptized by my quote-unquote ministry. Baptized by the truth. Baptized by logic. You know, indisputable logic and truth and her correctness. You know, People are tapping into their inner self and looking at themselves like, you know what? I really shouldn't be doing this. Like, why am I even doing this? You know, people are doing introspection and they're becoming better versions of themselves because we have managed to get them into a place of introspection. So now they need new recruits so that they can do their nonsense all over again. But let's see what's going on up here. So environment, pastor, the oracle, we got seaport. They want me to cry. I'm too effective. They want me to cry. That's my seaport, you know, salt water. They want me to cry. Because I got everybody else crying. Bisexual. So both men and women are coming to terms. Yeah, they're becoming civilian. They're becoming civilized. So both men and women, both sexes, bisexual, civilian. So they want me to cry because I've been putting people in an introspective mode and it's helping to change them into better beings. You know? And that's controlling the Ministry of Agriculture. So that's by people going within themselves and acknowledging and respecting the truth. They're changing their lives. They're changing their minds about fighting against me and being in full support of what their secret organization actually stands for. And that is messing with their world domination scheme. They're trying to cultivate agriculture, cultivation. They're trying to cultivate control. They're trying to cultivate an oppressed people. They want to create an oppressed and suppressed situation. Okay, they want to create uncivilization, for lack of a better term. Okay, they don't care about civilization. They want it to be uncivil. Like, I rule you, you do what I say. This goes how I want it to go. This is how world, Mr. and Mrs. World Domination and the people who still support them believe. Okay, that's what they want. Interesting. So then we got actress, and God has to step in. Like, you heard what the fuck she said. She isn't speaking on her behalf. She's an educator because I put her here as such. Let's read on. This is getting interesting. Ministry of we got adolescent. So grow the fuck up. We got, you're gonna get paid to grow the fuck up. It's a coded message. You have to understand the laws of karma. Let's read on. She told y'all through the airport. She told y'all, the whole gang, about law. She told y'all how the law go. Lawyer. She's a lawyer. When it comes to your agenda, whatever your agenda is, concerning your underground tunnel and your underground movements, your secret activity. President or prime minister, this would be the head of the organization now, the heads. Delivery, hidden message. College. You were blind, but now you see. You have been educated on the law. So y'all can't act like y'all don't know. That's what this underlying shit. Mental manipulation is going to be futile. Menstruation, that shit is just gonna leak out. It not work. You can't fool nature into thinking that you didn't get the message or you didn't comprehend it. Menstruation, your underground city, it need fixing. It's hospitalized right now. You need to assess yourself. You need to assess your situation. Children. adolescent and children. Childish behavior. And you're going to get fucking spanked for that. Being childish towards me, the prophetess, and my peaceful protests. You're going to get a beating. Assassin. Kill it. The public club or society, aka these people that you plan on sending, God is advising you to kill it, because it said it's not going to be a private party, it's going to be a public one. Assassinate it, like kill it, stop it. Let's read on. Come with love. Don't come with no fuckery, or else take whatever you get. Mayor, somebody in charge of what I say, okay. Dentist, information, right? So that would be God is in charge of what I say. When it comes to this information, we got doctor of the government. I'm helping y'all. Y'all would do well to listen to what we're saying on this channel. Uphold law and order. We're here to help you uphold law and order. I'm done with y'all. You can act stupid if you want to, but you've been warned. You better do the right thing. So God said this shit ain't going to be private. This is going to be public. And I hope I catch your faces on fucking camera too. Neutral entity youth. So in order, it says meeting place, which is the educator, is all well. Then we got they're not really like that. You're not supposed to be leaving me like that. We got the elders and their illegal activity. You need to be a neutral entity. So that's basically what the corrupt government officials would like to be, a neutral entity. That God is saying utilize divine authority. That's what this first part was saying. Be a neutral entity and utilize your divine authority. This is talking to these government officials who are being forced to break the laws of the universe by coming after me. Because I'm doing God's work. And they know it. You've been warned. If you don't have no pity on yourself, I won't have any pity on you. Because when you come hurting me, I actually hurt. So if you're going to put your fears of these world domination people and what they can do to you over my pain, even though you know I'm innocent and I'm doing God's work, you deserve whatever the fuck you get. So, let the games begin. So this brings us to the end of this reading. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Until next time, my lovelies, take care of yourselves and each other. You are your brother's keeper. You are your sister's keeper. We are the human family. Mwah.